Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and today I'll be getting into the latest in stupid, including Don Jr. and Elon Musk using their powers to promote blatant falsehoods about US aid, and key Doge staffer Marco Elise, who resigned over his wildly racist history, only for Trump, Musk, and Vance to call for his return. But first, this.
So those are the lines. I'm pretty confident that we'll get something done. But again, it's about making sure that we maintain our profile of reducing our debt, but yet make sure we fulfill our campaign promises of the taxes where primarily the expense is.
Where are we?
Yeah, that's not a glitch or CGI. That's Ryan Zinke with something above his lip. I've done a lot of television. They do final checks, and whoever was in charge of this one was asleep at the wheel, or maybe they wanted to embarrass Ryan. Maybe it was intentional. Here's a cappuccino. Have a sip before we go live. You'll be fine. Who knows? Maybe since Elon did the salute, he wanted to follow up with a little shaving cream Adolf. Now, speaking of Elon, he's on the cover of Time magazine. There, I fixed it for you. I hate it, but I love it, because this sort of thing is going to tear Trump and Musk apart, and that's a good thing. Here's the moment Trump discovered Elon made the cover. Just watch so you can see him process and deflect, because it really bothers him.
President, do you have a reaction to the new Time magazine cover that has Elon Musk sitting behind your Resolute desk?
タイムマガジンにイーロン・マスクが大統領の机の後ろで座っている写真がありますけども、それに関するコメントは何かありますか?
Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that.
まだタイムマガジンは廃刊じゃないんですか?
Elon is doing a great job. He's finding tremendous fraud and corruption and waste. You see it with the USAID, but you're going to see it even more so with other agencies and other parts of government. He's got a staff that's fantastic.
Marco Elise, a top Doge staffer who was handed access to the Treasury Department's payment system, resigned after his social media history was uncovered. Elise majored in computer science at Rutgers, co-founded a company while in school, and later joined Elon at SpaceX and X in an AI-focused role. Marco has hundreds of archive posts, but here are some of his greatest hits. Just for the record, I was racist before it was cool. You could not pay me to marry outside of my ethnicity. Normalize Indian hate. 99% of Indian H-1Bs will be replaced by slightly smarter LLMs. They're going back. Don't worry, guys. I would not mind if all of Gaza and Israel were both wiped off the face of the earth. J.D. Vance was quick to come to his defense. Here's my view. I obviously disagree with some of Elise's posts, but I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life. We shouldn't reward journalists who try to destroy people, ever. So I say, bring him back. If he's a bad dude or a terrible member of the team, fire him for that. I would love to be a fly on the wall at the Vance house or the Bowman house, or is it the Hamill house? He changes his name as often as Trump has Eric empty the turd tank. Walks in the door, eyes the couch a bit. Usha asks how work was and explains that a kid quit Doge because his tweets were uncovered about normalizing Indian hate. And I disagreed with some of that. And I urged Trump and Musk to bring him back. You know, because he's a kid. Normalize Indian hate? How old was he? 25. 25? Why did you say he was a kid? I mean, if he had a house party, Matt Gaetz wouldn't even show up because the girls would be over 16. You wanted him back? So did Trump and Elon? Like anything else? Well, he also wants the Civil Rights Act repealed so government can be legally racist again. But you're fine, and our kids are fine, right? Right?
I find it ironic that they keep referring to Elon Musk as an unelected bureaucrat or whatever their terminology is they're using when they've stood silent over the past 4 years when unelected bureaucrats have seemingly been running our country. They've been operating their agencies without any oversight, without any accountability, and they've been doing what they wanted to do, whether it was letting employees work from home or enacting policy like forgiving student loan debt when clearly the law didn't state that. I support what Elon Musk is doing. He's being very transparent with the American people. He's tweeting out multiple tweets per hour saying what his goals are, and I think it's what the American people want.
Most people love working from home, James. No one really fantasizes about a commute. Now, These tweets of Elon's that are so fantastic. I mean, here are just some of his tweets yesterday. I love Trump as much as a straight man can love another man. Greatest president ever. He then shared a video from Deuce Bigalow and joined Don Jr. and others reposting this video about USAID. Odds are you caught this on social media since it has millions of views across platforms because the stupid is compounding. At least once a day I come across something crazy posted in my feed by an acquaintance, a cousin, an old coworker, sometimes comedians and actors. I know so many that have gone to the dark side, and it's just sad to see their posts and frustrating. Why is this in my feed? This video suggests that movie stars were given millions to visit Ukraine, and it's completely false. For starters, there's no post from E! News on their site or social media, and if we're a genuine E! Post, they wouldn't be misspelling celebrity names. When you dig deeper and follow the source, the video is from Pravda News. Pravda literally means the truth, and well, it's not at all true. I first started talking about how vaccine disinformation comes from Russia. I mean, what an easy way to cripple a country than to make everyone ill, convince them that the life-saving things are evil. As if that'll work. Oh, it will. Disinformation is their game. Ben Stiller posted, "These are lies coming from Russian media. I completely self-funded my humanitarian trip to Ukraine. There was no funding from USAID and certainly no payment of any kind. 100% false." He then took credit for the hair gel on Ryan Zinke's lip. If you like what I do here and you want more, the best way to do that is to throw me what you can as a PayPal tip, drop me a super thanks, join as a member for less than the price of a cup of coffee, and if you are drinking coffee, do it out of one of my new mugs. If all these are out of reach, that's cool. Just share the show with a friend, and if you're ever going to shop Amazon, just go through the link in the description and I'll get a little kickback. It takes a lot to make an independent show, and I couldn't do it without you. The United States Agency for International Development is an independent agency of the United States government that is primarily responsible for administering civilian foreign aid and development assistance. With a budget of over $50 billion, USAID is one of the largest official aid agencies in the world and accounts for more than half of all U.S. foreign assistance, the highest in the world in absolute dollar terms. USAID has missions in over 100 countries, primarily in Africa, Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe. Much of USAID's budget is spent on health programs such as offering polio vaccinations in countries where the disease still circulates and helping to stop the spread of viruses which have the potential to cause a pandemic, because we really don't want another pandemic, okay? Now, it's important to note that USAID's budget is just 0.6% of the total U.S. annual government spending. 0.6%. Diaper Dawn posted, "I will be signing an executive order next week ending the ridiculous Biden push for paper straws, which don't work, back to plastic." Naturally, I replied, "I'm going to end the war in Ukraine on day one. No, I'll just lose a trade war, cut aid, give Space Karen the keys to the Treasury system, do a bit of golf, and bring back plastic straws. Because if Don Jr. wanted to use paper, he'd roll up a bill."
Last question. So does this mean, since you used to coach Patrick Mahomes, that you're rooting for the Chiefs at the big game this Sunday?
Well, I never even coached him. What happened is I recruited him, and then I left and went to another school. But I've got to be very good friends with him. He's not just a good athlete. He's a very good example for a lot of our young youth across this country.
He finally admits he didn't coach Mahomes, but also decides to claim he recruited him. Tuberville left Texas Tech in 2012. Mahomes did not receive an offer until April of 2012 when Cliff Kingsbury was coach, and it was B.J. Anderson that showed Kingsbury a DVD of Mahomes in action that led to this. Patrick Mahomes has responded, "He did not recruit me at the time. I don't remember if I ever got to meet him or not. Didn't coach him, didn't recruit him, and never even met him. I don't know what smarts more, his words or these stares." Thanks to Donald Trump, when it comes to flying now, whether you're MAGA, Ultra MAGA, or Maple MAGA, you are paying attention. I had a quick trip this week, and I've never seen people so focused on the flight attendants demonstration. It is their time to shine. It's like they went from open mic to theaters. Everyone on the plane was glued to them. I mean, I went from the drinking in the exit row guy to being the teacher's pet. Start over. I want to see it all again. I want to make sure we're all on board. I don't want to die. The Vance House, or is it the Bowman House, or the Hamill House? He changed his name as often as Trump has Eric empty the turd tank. Get out the tongs. Just for the record, I was rapist before. How did I make this? Did I make it worse? My bad. to promote blatant falsehoods about USAID. Key dog staffer Marco Doge. USAID and certainly no payment of any kind, 100% false. He then took credit for the hair gel on Ryan Sinke's lip. There's something about Mary and a callback. Do a bit of golf and bring back plastic straws because if Don Jr. wanted to use paper, he'd roll up a bill. It's funny because it's true. Has responded, he did not recruit me. He did not recruit me. There was no recruiting.
The Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.